Conquer Your Fears. Written by Leisha Close. Read by Arashi. Year 1180. Garland mooned. Fast and lively steps echoed down the reception hall, all the way to the entrance hall, stopping near the entrance to the dining hall, as Ferdinand found the person he was looking for. "Hubert!" Hubert dismissed with a sigh the imperial soldier who he was discussing with, then begrudgingly turned to face his classmate. "Yes, Ferdinand, what nonsense is it now?" His tone of voice was unenthusiastic and resigned. Ferdinand paid this no heed, as this was, for him, Hubert's regular tone. "Today is the best day that I prove to you, without a single shadow of a doubt, that I am better than Edelgard. You will have no choice but to recognize that I am more talented than her." "Is that so? And what event to excel at have you chosen this time?" he replied, unimpressed. "Flying. We shall soar into the sky and duel, with you as the judge." "No." The answer was swift, and the speed at which it was delivered made it seem instinctual, with absolutely no thought necessary. "No, but this is the one thing we have never tried yet." "No." Hubert crossed his arms, and a frown was clearly visible on his face. "Lady Edelgard would best you in any subject you could think of, so this is meaningless. And you've never needed a judge before, so why now? If you, Lady Edelgard's most loyal supporter, acknowledge that I am superior, is that not the best proof, more than if Edelgard herself acknowledges it? No, I refuse to be your judge, as that will never happen. And stop pestering Lady Edelgard with your challenges. Her time isn't to be wasted on you." "I am not wasting her time. This is all to show her that she should listen to my advice as one of her best advisors." "What drivel! Look, you just need to fly up with us, and then stay in one place." "No, and that's final." Ferdinand sighed, giving up for now. He made one last comment as he turned away, missing the slight twitch from Hubert at his words. "You make it seem like you hate flying." Year 1185. Ethereal moon. Calm and measured steps resonated down the empty halls as Ferdinand made his way to the courtyard to get some fresh air. To his surprise, he found Byleth already sitting there, teacup in hand. "Hello, Professor. Should you not be with Edelgard, planning the first move now that you are back?" "After learning what happened during my 5-year absence, I needed some time to think, but perhaps talking about it would be better. Ferdinand, would you join me? My tea isn't as good as when you make it, but—" "Your tea-making skills are better than most of us here. I will gladly join you, Professor." Their conversation on the past 5 years quickly turned from past events to how the rest of the Black Eagle strike force have been. "We all had faith you would come back, although Edelgard took your disappearance very hard. She looked everywhere for you. Everyone has been doing their best to anticipate your return, even Hubert." Byleth hummed in response. "I see. Speaking of Hubert, has he gotten over his fear of heights? I assume he has by now. He's not the type to just accept his weakness." "What? Did you not know?" They both paused, Ferdinand in shock, Byleth in contemplation. The latter broke the silence first. "I thought he wasn't hiding it. He did put it in the advice box, which isn't the most private way to ask for advice, as students have snooped through the notes there before. I suppose he is the type to hide this from others, though." Ferdinand quickly stood, the shock having passed by now. "Apologies, Professor, but I have to go find Hubert now, if you will excuse me." Not waiting for a response, he made a beeline towards the advisory room, where Hubert usually is these days. Byleth waved goodbye, an apologetic smile on her face as she thought about how Hubert would react. Seeing the 2 large doors to the room were open, he barged in. "Hubert!" Both Hubert and Edelgard turned towards him, slightly surprised at his intrusion. "Ferdinand, Lady Edelgard and I are busy at the moment." Edelgard raised a hand, shaking her head. "No, we were just about done. What has you so flustered, Ferdinand?" "Edelgard, did you know that Hubert is afraid of heights?" Hubert's eyes widened in absolute surprise for a split second. "Who told you that?" "No, wait, it was the Professor, wasn't it?" "That does not matter right now. What matters is you getting over this fear. What if we need to fly somewhere on Wyvern during this war?" Hubert crossed his arms. "And be shot down by archers? I think not." "Hubert?" "Yes, Lady Edelgard?" "I think Ferdinand is correct for once. You should find a way to overcome this fear. We never know what will happen in war." "But—" Edelgard looked at him pointedly. "If that is your wish." In Ferdinand's mind popped an idea he found brilliant. "Meet me tomorrow before sunrise at the stables, Hubert." Hubert simply nodded as he sighed. Early next morning, they both met at the stables as planned. Ferdinand was waiting with a single wyvern. Hubert walked up to him. "Where's the other wyvern?" "Other? Oh, no, I'm not letting you ride a wyvern by yourself. What if you panic and fall? No, we're riding together today." Hubert frowned, but before he could protest, Ferdinand mounted the wyvern and held his hand out to him. "Hop on!" Hubert hesitantly took his hand, letting Ferdinand pull him up and sitting behind him, hands holding the saddle. Ferdinand then lightly kicked the side of his mount, who started to flap its wings and slowly ascend into the dark morning sky. Hubert closed his eyes, not wanting to see the ground get further and further away, not realizing his hands were now clutching Ferdinand's sides. Once they were at a certain altitude, Ferdinand looked back at Hubert. "Hubert, you will want to open your eyes now. Do not worry. I am here. There is nothing to fear." Hubert slowly opened his eyes. What he saw as his vision focused took his breath away. A beautiful orange glow was rising over the horizon. The clouds were rose gold, and the sky a wistful purple as the sun's golden rays started to shine upon Fodland. "Is this not worth conquering your fears, Hubert?" "I am not one for sentimental value, Ferdinand, but this isn't so bad. One day you will be viewing this by yourself. I am sure my presence is diminishing your sense of peace." "No," said Hubert, under his breath. "What did you say?" "Nothing." Ferdinand shrugged. They then enjoyed the sunrise in silence. Once the sun had fully risen, they flew back down. "Well, are you still afraid?" "No, I should be fine now." "Excellent. Well, I'll take my leave now. We can discuss this more over tea and coffee, yes?" "Perhaps." As Ferdinand walked away, Hubert smiled. "Thank you, Ferdinand."